At Mayberry Spirits with Van McCoy. He is he studied as a astrophysicist turned monk, and now he's reached a higher calling, perhaps of making alcohol. But he's still taking those, what the lift your spirits attitude, and he got some really cool stuff. So rather than me talking about all the stuff, I wanted to have Van kind of walk us through. We're going to check out some of the products you make, and then we're going to see your still too.
All right, thank you. So we are a boutique distillery doing unique products for North America. Our first line is a single malt sorghum grain line of whiskeys. So a clear unaged version, an oaked version comparable to your fine whiskeys and bourbons, and then a vanilla infused versions. We make our own extracts here as well, and we infuse those into the toasted oak to get our toasted vanilla version. So our line of gourmet extracts are alcohol based, as any pure extract has to be. We have Madagascar and Tahitian vanillas, we have a citrus lime and lemon lime orange and clementine, as well as some other ancillary products that go with that. Our alcohols are unique with the first line because they are sorghum based. So we're going to step on over here and show you a little bit of the sorghum that we're using for this. So we again are a small distillery, a very small team, and we are trying to be both very sustainable and green in everything we do. Sorghum fits into this because it is really the most sustainable of the grains. Uses 30 to 80% less water than any other grain. It's also gluten-free. So the sorghum grain looks like this. It's kind of like little red BBs that comes off a sorghum plant. This is heated and processed into a syrup that looks like this. It's got a very rich, buttery texture to it, a little like cross between caramel and honey. And it is the base for our current 3 whiskeys. So we use this with some hot water and some yeast, put it in these big blue barrels here, work on our mash, and that turns into, ultimately when we're done, let me pop this off real quick. So right there, this one's almost done, probably another day on that, still busy. Technically it becomes a sorghum beer. So whiskey is technically a boiled beer. So a distiller makes a beer and then boils the alcohol out of it. Let's go show you where we boil it up. So we have 2 stills here. A 110 gallon is our main still, and then a 5 gallon for doing test batches and small versions. It takes 2 of those big blue barrels that you saw with the mash, go into large still, and then it's about a 6-hour distillation process. And from that, we're going to get somewhere in the neighborhood of 12 to 15 gallons of the good stuff, and then some tails along with that get redistilled on the next day. So we keep everything for bottling. It's 90 proof up to about 140 proof, and that gives us the 3 products eventually that we are producing. First of which, as I mentioned, is the Clear Crystal Moon. Right off the still, a little closer to rum and tequilas, good for margaritas, daiquiris, mojitos, that sort of thing. The toasted oak, the oak version, more traditional whiskey line, unusually at 100 proof because the taste profile of the sorghum is so much smoother and much silkier mouthfeel than a lot of your traditional whiskeys. We keep it just a smidgen higher on that. We do accelerated aging and unique aging techniques as well here to increase production and to make it easier on a small distillery. So instead of using the large barrels, where we're putting the liquor in the wood, we put the wood in the liquor with toasted oak chips. The difference on this is you've got more surface area for the extraction of the oak oils. We can do in this glass carboy here what takes 1 year in a barrel, we can do in 6 days. So the comparable aging for our toasted oak, our first whiskey sets out, is probably right around 18 months for our first. We'll do some longer aged versions coming up later. We're also working using different kinds of chips to do some unique whiskeys based on other kinds of woods. We're playing with applewood, cherry, hickory, mesquite, pecan, different kinds that will give very different taste profiles. Among those right now, the cherry and the pecan are 2 that are really among the best, and I hope to come out with one a little bit later this year on that. We also take our whiskey then, as I said, and we use it to do an aging and extraction process with different kinds of flavorings for the baking world. So we're the only company in the world that has a sorghum whiskey as a base for a line of gourmet baking extracts. We have a Madagascar vanilla, a Tahitian vanilla. We also have a lemon lime orange clementine, And we also make some infused sugars and salts from the vanilla beans that we have done for extraction. We take the two vanillas, blend them together, and then blend that with the toasted oak whiskey, or bourbon-like whiskey, to get our third whiskey, which is the toasted vanilla whiskey. Not sweet, but it has a vanilla finish. Very unique on the market today. So for us, Spirit of Mayberry is about the spirit of family, spirit of friendship, spirit of celebration. All those things that gather us together to enjoy life. So, all the best to all of you. Hope you'll come and taste the Spirit of Mayberry. Cheers.